Okay, so picking up where we left off, we have some basic map elements here. We have our data displayed somewhat how we like it. What I'm going to do here is we're going to focus on the layout a little more and adding some important elements like a legend, a north arrow, a scale bar, a title, etc. What I need to do is I want this to line up nicely, so I'm going to go to put up a grid and some snapping options. So I'm going to go to Customize, and we're going to go to ArcMap Options, and we want to go to Layout View, and we'll go to Grid, and we'll click Show, and the spacing is 0.25 inches, and I want to snap elements to the grid, and I'm going to say OK. And now you'll see I have these little grid points that are all lined up there, and I'll show you what this allows me to do. If I select the data frame, the map area, I can grab this, and notice how it just snaps to those grids. So I'll widen that, and then I'll come back over. Once this pops back up, it's still loading. You see it's working down here with this little spinning globe. I'll grab this side and I'll pull it out. So we're at a 1/4 inch there and a 1/4 inch there, and then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. So we have a 1/4 inch margin all the way around this map. And it's already snapped. And then at the top, I'm going to leave a little extra space so I can put a title at the top. So I'm just waiting for this. I'll click on it there. Here we go. And we'll leave a little extra space at the top. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I have a lot of blank space around the edges, and I want that map to be as big as possible. The map of the watershed, so I'm going to do a fixed zoom in. And hopefully it's not too much of a zoom in. Take a minute to reload things here. Maybe I'll just do one more once this loads up. Okay, and I'm going to do just one more fixed zoom in. We'll see how that goes. Okay, and so that was a little too much because we cut the bottom part off. So once this loads, I'm going to come in, I'm going to adjust this. The scale before I zoomed in was 1 to 50,000. So if I make this 1 to 45,000, that should be about right. Okay, yes, and now I can probably just pan that a hair, and we'll have that watershed nice and large. And I'll move it down just a hair. Okay, wait for that to load, and we'll just verify that that's about where you want the watershed. Okay, that looks about right. We're not overlapping this data credit for the imagery at the bottom. Okay, so let's add a title to this map. I'm going to select here, so I can go Insert and Title. And the title, I'm going to give my map, it's going to be very simple. Let's go Temple, Fork, Watershed, Streams. Descriptive but simple. We'll say OK. That will get added to the map here in a second. OK. Once we finish loading, I can move this up, snap it. It's still loading. Let's give it just a minute here. There it goes. There's a toolbar I can use to adjust the text. If I right click and click on the draw toolbar, there's the draw tool. I'm going to come snap that up here. Let's select this. I want this to be a nice big title. Try size 22. Just wait a minute for this to come back. Okay, I want it even bigger than that. So let's make it 28, and then we'll bold it also. Now you see that this can be a little tedious because you have to wait for your map to load every time. It's just the way it goes. It's working with a lot of data behind the scenes. These base maps, especially the imagery we have behind there, can especially slow this down. But that's kind of the price you pay for making a nice looking map. Okay, so we have a title. Now there's some important map elements that I need to import here. Maybe most importantly is a legend. So we go to Insert, Legend. We have the outlet, the stream ID order, the watershed boundary. Now, hill shades, we don't include those in legends. They're just shading. There's really no data there. And we have the watershed boundary. All these world imagery and citations, we don't need to include those in the legend. The citations are already included on the imagery. The imagery is also there for context. It's pretty self-explanatory. These other ones we do need. I'm going to put stream ID order at the top because it's maybe the most important layer. And then we'll put the watershed boundary. Oops, I just wanted to put that second. And then we have the outlet. We'll have one column in the legend. Next. We don't need a title because those layers will all be layered. Let's go next. I'm going to make my background white because I'm putting it over this imagery, so it may not be easily seen, so I'll make the background white. We'll click next. I can change my line style. I really like this flowing water for streams. So we'll go next, and we'll click, oh, let's go back actually, let's go back one. And for the watershed boundary, instead of having this square, we'll do a natural area like this. And we'll click next, and we'll click finish. Okay, now you can see I've generated this nice legend. It should fit nicely down in this corner. The thing that's not so nice about this legend is we don't have very descriptive names here. And so let's go ahead and I'll show you how we can change those. We can simply change the name of the layer. I don't see a rename in the options here. But what we can do is click on it once, wait a second, click on it twice, and we can rename it. And so I'm just going to name this stream order. Do the same thing to the outlet, but I'll name this watershed outlet. And the same thing for the watershed boundary. I'll name this watershed boundary. Okay, and you can see that my legend's been updated accordingly here. I do want to change the outline of the watershed boundary to, let's make that an outline of 2. Say OK. This is also red and it kind of blends in with that boundary. So I am going to, once this loads again, I'm going to change this color. Let's change the color to maybe bright green. And there we can see that a little more clearly now. Okay, now there's a little redundancy in my legend. You can see it says stream order. Let's go ahead and fix that. We'll right click on the legend, go to properties. If we go to items, wait for this to load, and then go to stream order and click style. Now we have these different legend styles. We have a heading, so this shows what it is now. It's layer name, heading, label, description. I just want layer name and label. And so if we find one of those, here's layer name and label, and if I click OK, and OK again, You can see we've just changed this to stream order 1, 2, 3, 4. It did change my flowing water line. Let's go in and see if we can fix that. So we have our items. We've got a stream order symbol. And this is just going to give us the text, general, stream order, frame, size and position, layout. Okay, so here we are, we're in layout, we have line, we want to make that flowing water, and we'll click OK, and there we go, it's changed that again. Okay, so that gets our legend ready. We want to add a scale bar. Let's go insert scale bar. We need to know what scale we're working at here. I'm going to use just this simple miles scale bar. Let's go into properties and adjust this a little. I want to have 4 divisions and 0 subdivisions, and I'm going to make this in kilometers, and we'll say OK here, and OK here. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. So if you don't like it, you click on it, delete, and we'll do it again. Let's insert scale bar. There we go. I just want this simple one at the top. And properties, divisions 4, subdivisions 0. Okay. Okay. Here we have our scale bar. I'm going to adjust this so it comes out to even units. Maybe I'll make it 2 miles. Even. So there we go, there's our scale bar. We can come slide that down right in here maybe. So you can see we have 0, 0.25, 0.51, 1.52 miles. And we also need a north arrow here. So let's go insert north arrow. You have a lot of different options. I'm going to use this very simple one here. And I might actually just drag this right into the corner of the legend, where it's easy to see. Okay, so there you can see we have some of the basic map elements. We have our streams described, we have our watershed boundary and watershed outlet described. Excuse me. And we've contextualized this all with a nice imagery background that's somewhat transparent, and so it doesn't overpower the actual data we're trying to show in the image. And so here we've taken you from getting raw data from a website, taking that data, doing many analyses on it to produce this final stream map, and then creating a presentable map that you can pass on to whoever the information is for. I hope you enjoyed this course. I've enjoyed creating it and developing it for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions and we will get to them. Thank you.